I'm Laura Jones for Charleston Home and Design Magazine. Here's part of our Charleston Home and Design Show, the Downtown Gilliard Center. I'm here with Kristen Teague from HLG Growers. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Pretty good. I got my comfy shoes on today, so I'm doing pretty good.
I hear you.
Yeah. So I am always in love with your gorgeous displays, but your display this year actually goes along great with the feature we just did in our winter 2018 issue about flooding. Tell me a little bit about this. It's not just a typical water feature, is it? There's a little something special behind this one, correct?
Yeah, there is. One thing that we try to specialize in as a company profile is drainage mitigation. I don't talk about that a whole lot, but we do a lot of drainage projects where we have mushy-gushy spaces, and people, when we're talking about landscaping, before we really can do the landscaping, we have to talk about where the water's going, how the water goes. It affects our hardscape stuff like patios. We do a lot of masonry work, stone work, rock features and fireplaces and different things, like in perennial pavers and places where we do that kind of hardscape atmosphere. So all your down underneath foundations, the setting walls, fire spots, or just whatever, we have alluvial soils in the area. So what means everything moves. We have no real rock, Yeah. So everything's also kind of real flat. So to reuse water in an attractive setting or an artistic manner is a good way to take care of a mud hole underneath a live oak tree where nothing seems to be helping. So what we can do is literally excavate a small space, put in a drainage system that brings rainwater every time it rains right into a feature. We create this kind of look you see down here with a bubble boulder, several ornamental stones, some from Mexico, some from Alabama, some from Arizona, but we bring these blends of just beautiful, rich, natural rock colors. Polished rocks look river rocky, glosses and black slates and things, and against a natural stone that's more like from the mountains near Tennessee or Pennsylvania, Virginia, North Carolina. And this particular thing is called a Smoky Mountain blend. And so it's just kind of like a pancake stack, very easy to do for attractive flower bed borders. Little hard spots near oak trees, people cut down trees. We can build this kind of thing. Today it's built on carpet in here, right? So we can put that in an old tree stump that needs to rot away.
That's amazing.
It can be above ground. It can be on an edge of a courtyard patio. But this particular design can very much so be the point, a purpose, a reset for the drain water of bad drainage areas. And then when it overfills, it just goes downhill from there. And we site develop the drainage layout so nobody has a mistake,
Like you said before, this is a much prettier option than one of those big old brown rain barrels for getting rid of your extra rainwater.
What's so cool is we can put pretty flowers over that like water, poor soil conditions, shade perhaps, leaves falling all over it, places that exist everywhere in Charleston.
Absolutely.
Every corner of Charleston.
Yes, just about. And what I like too is this isn't just standing water which little critters and unfortunate friends can get around, correct?
That is right. That is a great point, because what happens is that if we shut this off, like with a light switch application, this becomes like a very arid, dry space. Underground would be where the water, if any water, is left to run the system with a pump to recirculate the water. It actually keeps out mosquitoes, because that's kind of where we're going with the question. It's not a bowl of algae, muck, rotten leaves, green stuff like it would be if we had a water feature. Sure. And we do lots of water features, but we do a lot of pondless water features, so when they're off, we can kind of blow a leaf blower across this heavy stuff and get all the muck away. It is dry all the time. And then we have little plants growing that look appearing as if they love water, but these plants are succulents, bromeliads, things like that, stuff that actually wants to grow on the top of the roof of the house, like a cactus.
So you told me a little bit about these cute little critters a few minutes ago. It's not just for the ponds. They can go on our gorgeous live oaks we're well known for, correct?
Yeah, like let's say some people get like a spot, they need to cut a limb. Something happened in the storm damage, which we've had plenty of that. Over the
Storms,
winter.
floods. We've got all kinds of good stuff lately.
So these things are called bromeliads, and the way they work is they're kind of like known as air plants too. A hot interest on Pinterest right now and some of these things people see.
I've pinned one or two, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, for real. So the way they work is the rainwater kind of hits as it rains. We also have a humid environment in Charleston. So these plants are very attractive things, kind of like the Spanish moss we're known to have. Same cousin family along them lines. And you can take something like this and just lightly attach it to even the existing tree. So if I had an ugly spot where we just cut it off, we could, facade it, so to speak. And people would pay more attention to a thing like that, making it all pretty as it grew, than they would the knot that we had to cut the dead limb out of.
Yes,
okay?
it's much prettier than an ugly old
Yeah. So it's all about just really the design part.
Sure.
So, but we do full service design work.
So speaking of design, I know you have another new facet of your business.
This service right here is a 3D imagery where we can actually put a plan together without actually having the house built yet. Even we can take specs like a blueprint, a plat, to take photographs off cell phones and make a whole program. We can put in
Photos from Pinterest.
Yeah, we can put in dictated paths, setting spaces, combine fire water elements, all kinds of cool stuff, recirculating ponds, reflection features, things like that, where you got, instead of a bubble boulder, we've got a lava rock with water flowing underneath fire, and that doesn't make any sense, but artistically it looks beautiful and you can see it there. But cut different paver selections, setting spaces, different kinds of trees, what kinds of trees, what kinds of heights, what kind of underlayment plants, what kind of border plants, what kind of attractive landscape foliage you would like to see. Cut flowers for all seasons, summer, winter, fall, spring. Everybody has one little spot, and you want to make your one little spot your own little plantation in Charleston, okay? So what we can do is dictate all the trees, the sun, the shade, put these things in the program. We can see sun, shade exposures, drainage issues. Again, where the low wet spots are, use plants that like wet spots. You need shade things, something against the house that doesn't want any sun, something against the other side of the house that gets nothing but sun and needs like a cactus setting.
Well, something to make everybody happy, right?
Yeah, and at this place here, we also have, like, besides the front, we're seeing now sunset and underlayment lighting. So we have under lighting for light at night.
Wow.
And these designs where the sun sets is important because that's evening sun or morning sun.
Sure.
At different exposures. The upscale at night, landscapes disappear. and no one even knows you had a pretty house when they pass by unless it had aesthetic lighting to uplight your environment, so it's a usable space in the night, in the day, and you can put some of these whatever on timers. Then here it is in a morning setting. See, morning exposure plants need certain exposure where evening plants do not. And then, of course, we have butterfly attractors. All these things are very important. Same
You've got
space.
a little bit of everything going these days. It's so exciting.
Yeah, it is. It is. Little outdoor kitchen stuff going on in our business now.
All right. Y'all have so much exciting things going on. Thank you so much for sharing with me today, Christian, of HLG Growers. If people want more information, how can they reach you?
Best way is just to call our business card cell phone number, which rings in my pocket. It's 843-901-4862. And if I don't answer, I may be talking to somebody like you, so leave a message and I will be pretty point driven to call you back quickly.
Alrighty.
So 843-901-4862.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thanks. See you soon.